Welcome back to the Quick Save Podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Alex.
And today we're talking about the Xbox and the Bethesda Showcase.
The Bethesda?
Yeah, Bethesda.
That's my favorite game studio, the Bethesda.
Her showcase of her games that she's making later this year. And there's a lot. The way it was kind of introduced was they said, we're going to showcase games you can play over the next 12 months, which is kind of, I mean, it's not the first time something like that's happened, but it is cool for them to say, like, hey, we're going to show you all this stuff. Within a year, you'll be able to play this stuff, which is really exciting.
It's the first time I've really ever seen this done to this extent. Like, they literally gave us a calendar and was like, here you go, enjoy.
Here's the thing. They gave us some stuff. I don't know if we're going to be able to play within 12 months. We'll see. There's some bigger name titles that I'm like, is that really going to come out in, like, 12 months?
There were some that are, like, coming out supposedly in, like, the next 3 weeks, and I'm like, I don't know, guys.
I don't remember a lot of this, but sometimes, usually, they do the shadow drop, right? Where they go, like, and you can play this today. This is going live on the Xbox Game Store today. But I don't remember. There was maybe a couple smaller titles. But,
yeah, I think they were, like, indie titles, maybe.
Yeah. But so we're going to go in chronological order of what they showed in the presentation. So if you're watching the presentation at home, think of this like your director's commentary.
I took 3 years to make this masterpiece. I will not let anyone tell me that this is not beautiful.
Yes, I am a film auteur here, and I think this trailer was total hogwash.
That developer had no right making these changes. This is mine.
So anyways, that's our movie spin-off commentary that we're going to start doing. No, all right, so we're going to start at the beginning. Redfall, Bethesda teaming up with Arcane Studios.
I had not heard of this until we watched the Game Pass preview.
I was like, this looks familiar, but then I remembered the trailer they showed like last year or something like that.
So they showed us gameplay throughout the entire thing, and the big thing that I took away from it was that it looked interesting, but it just felt like they were trying to like mix Dying Light and like Left 4 Dead together. It gave me a definite vibe between those two.
Well, here's the thing, right? You say that like it's a bad thing. Both those games are amazing.
I'm not saying like it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, man, that's what it gave me.
It does. It very much has like a Left 4 Dead vibe where there are 4 survivors in this town. Vampires are taking over the town, and each survivor has a different set of skills to fight the vampires. There was like an engineer guy who makes like traps. There was like a magic lady who casts magic spells. I think it was like a doctor guy, right? It was like a healer class.
Yeah, some healer class.
And then I don't remember the fourth one.
The interesting thing about this is that most of the time you think of like Left 4 Dead, you're just, you're going in, you're maybe having a weapon loadout option, and then you're just going in and gunning. But with this, it looks more like we're gonna have an RPG feel to it, because there was a skill tree involved. There were like things you can do to each skill to like level those individuals up in between all that.
And I like that. It's like, it feels to me kind of like a natural progression of the Left 4 Dead formula is to add like leveling up and skills. You have stuff like Dead by Daylight, which is asymmetric gameplay, but there are skill trees where each character can level up and gain skills and attributes and stuff like that. And I really think that is just an evolution of the Left 4 Dead. If they were to make a Left 4 Dead 3, I feel like there would be skill trees or some way to differentiate your kind of like who you play as. So.
Definitely some interesting art choices for the game. It was kind of like
cartoony
times. Watercolory almost.
Yeah.
But I mean, it had great music in it, which definitely made it entertaining to watch, and the video syncing with it was absolutely amazing. So the trailer, 100% great. We'll see about the game.
Well, I mean, it's Bethesda and Arcane, and not that they can't do no wrong, but I think you've got two really strong studios.
It's hard to do wrong when you just have good
even if
experience.
Even if it sucks or the multiplayer sucks or something, I think it'll still be fun in its own way. Definitely seems like they're putting a lot of work and effort into it.
For sure.
So I thought it was Vampire the Masquerade for a second. I was like, what is this Vampire the Masquerade goofy spinoff? But all right, next is Hollow Knight Silksong. Very excited for this. It is a sequel to Hollow Knight, which was a indie darling when that came out a number of years ago. You ever played Hollow Knight?
Never did.
Perfect. It's a 2D platformer, kind of Metroidvania style. But people are always like, they're quick to say it's like a Metroid game meets Dark Souls.
Interesting.
Because when your character dies, so you collect money and stuff, and the money is pretty essential to you buying upgrades or their badges, which give you kind of like perks. If you die, you lose all your money, like Dark Souls, and then...
It sounds a lot like these developers are not appreciating my time towards the game.
So when you die, you lose all your money. Oh no. But then when you go back to where you died, your shadow is there, your shade. And if you defeat your shade in combat, you get all your money back. Cha-ching! Dollar bills, which is, again, very much like Dark Souls in that if you die, you lose all your souls, but if you go back to where you died, you can reclaim your lost souls. But it's about bugs. It's about bugs. You play as a bug. You're like the bug. There's a bug prophecy, and you're a bug, and you're the prophesized.
I'm bugging out on this.
You're the chosen one. And there's I forget her name, and everybody's going to judge me pretty hard, but there's a ladybug you meet. Sorry, she's not like a ladybug. She's a bug that is a lady.
This is giving me the creepy crawlies.
You meet this bug who's a lady. She's got like a needle, and she does this cool attack with like her needle and thread and stuff like that. And she's a kind of a recurring character. It's very story-based. She's kind of a recurring character. Now in the sequel to Hollow Knight, Silksong you play as the bug who is a lady.
I see.
Because, I mean, it would make sense. If you're beating the story of Hollow Knight, you'd be like, oh, I get why you play as the lady. But it is very hard, OG Hollow Knight. It's fun, but it's very much like you will die on bosses, and you'll have to learn their patterns. And it is very difficult, but it is fun. They showed in the trailer for Silksong, they showed Dreamer boss fights, which the Dreamer boss fights is some of the hardest stuff to do in the original Hollow Knight. So it's exciting that makes a return. It's good. Hollow Knight's good. Sequel.
I believe you.
The sequel, I'm excited. The first one's good. Second one, hopefully good. Dark Souls, 2D Metroidvania. Check it out, please. What's next?
This is the one I was looking at, just kind of interested more in, is High in Life. That's Justin Roiland.
Justin Roiland, Squanch Tendo.
Squanch Tendo?
It's not called Squanch. They legally couldn't call it that. It's called Squanch Games.
Squanch Games. Justin Roiland, if you're not familiar, did Rick and Morty. He did...
Trover Saves the Universe.
Trover Saves the Universe.
Accounting Plus, I think, is another game that he worked on. I think that was Squanch Games.
There's
like
just a bunch
of VR games that he's created and voiced in.
He is phenomenal, in my opinion. I love the humor that he has and can produce. Till hopefully nothing bad will happen with him.
Why'd you say that? Like, why'd you have to say it like that, man? None of us were wishing ill will on Justin Roiland. Then you had to bring it to a dark place. You're like, well, hopefully he's okay.
I have had experiences in the past where I really love a certain, artist or developer, a single person that puts out amazing content, and then they crush my dreams by doing something horrible.
Yeah, I mean, you know what happened.
So I hope he doesn't do anything bad, because I love him to death.
You know what happened when we talked about Kurt Cobain on the podcast all those years ago. So.
All those years ago.
But yeah, it's like a shooter, right?
Yeah, new shooter.
You quoted, as we watched the trailer, you said, quote, "It looks like Funny Doom."
Yeah, it looked like Funny Doom to me. That's really what it was. So as much as I love Justin Roiland and all of his wonderful content he puts out, I just wasn't vibing with this trailer. It just, it felt so like I had seen it somewhere else before. And it wasn't new. It wasn't entertaining.
And it's hard to stand out.
Funniness.
Right, it's hard to stand out, I think. If your game is like a shooter, but it's goofy and funny, I think that's... And not that it's been done before, I think it's just hard to do well. And especially, it looked like... I think it's multiplayer, right? I think maybe it's not.
I think so. The guns are your...
the guns were like creatures.
Yeah, the guns are creatures. And, one of them talks to you and it's like, oh, yeah, you can shoot all these. Those are my children. Don't worry.
Yeah, he said, those are my babies. I remember that.
Don't worry, I can make plenty more.
Yeah, so it is very goofy and silly. It just feels not my vibe. Something like Sunset Overdrive is kind of my vibe.
I think maybe my opinion will change once I actually am able to play the game.
Or if I see some more, in-depth gameplay or something.
But just the way they put it out there didn't call to me.
Yeah, when your main draw is hey... Isn't our game funny? It's like, if the writing's funny, that's one thing. I need compelling gameplay, too. Yeah. I've been playing The Outer Worlds a lot recently. Which
what a game!
I love the writing in that game. Amazing, obviously Obsidian. But also, I like the combat a lot, which we were talking earlier. I like Fallout to an extent. I'm not a big Fallout guy. But my issue with the Fallout stuff is just the combat. I don't really like the combat.
Early Fallout was really tough. Fallout 4 made combat a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I haven't played 4. I played 3 in New Vegas a lot.
Like great stories, but the combat and just the length of time it takes to traverse the world because you can't run. Just oh god, that rubbed me the wrong way.
That's just the combat system. They were like, combat's not very easy. What if our special move was literally a move that like locked on to targets because combat is not easy? But I love the writing in those games. So I mean, Outer World is like, it's very funny. The writing is very funny. It can be very goofy at times, but it's not just that. There's also compelling gameplay. It's not just like, we kind of said who cares to the gameplay, just made funny dialogue. Yeah, that's fine. See, I've also played Disco Elysium, which is very much like a point-and-click, explore, whatever. And the whole bit of that game is super dialogue-heavy, choose-your-own-adventure, very goofy, funny. That's great. Also, it wears a lot on me just because I can't do a game that's just like, it's funny, that's it. There's not really gameplay, it's just funny dialogue. That is so tough for me to handle.
Yeah, usually games like that, I just feel like people will rather watch a walkthrough or
watch somebody
a
else
long
play
of it.
Yep.
And just to watch it more as a movie than be present in it and trying to actually complete it.
Yep. And I find that can be an issue with these goofy, funny games. I feel like if that's probably for all the people who don't play Trover the Universe, they're just going to watch somebody play Trover versus the Universe or Trover Saves the Universe. And I've seen plenty of playthroughs of like Accounting Plus and other Justin Roiland stuff where it's just like, it's funny to watch and you'll laugh at all the funny jokes and that's it. You know, the end. One playthrough once and that's it. So
yeah.
All right, let's talk about the Riot collab. This is kind of a big one in my opinion. If you have Xbox Game Pass, you unlock all the champions for League of Legends and League of Legends Wild Rift. I don't know what Wild Rift is. I don't know what the difference between that and original
I'm
League
gonna be real here. I don't know what League of Legends really is. I know there's Jinx and that's it.
It's a MOBA. It's a multiplayer online battle arena. What?
There's the crickets in my head.
What? Yeah. If you have Game Pass, you unlock all the champions for League and Wild Rift, all of the agents for Valorant, a set of cards in Legends of Runeterra, and you unlock some characters in Teamfight Tactics. That's an insane amount of content. Like, League has, like, 90 freaking characters in it or something insane like that. So instead of having to grind the in-game currency and unlock one legend at a time, they just give you, like, all freaking 90 characters or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure for the people that play these games, like, this is just giant. Like,
yeah, if you
they can't believe them. To me, though, as someone that doesn't play these games, I'm like, that's cool. I might give it a try now.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to play it. I might play Legends of Runeterra, because it's like a RuneScape-esque card game, right? But I don't really care. But it's cool that it exists. For the people who are...
incentives, I think, are enough to bring new people in. I think that's where they're also trying to go.
Yeah, definitely they're trying to say, like, hey, come play League. You can get every character, right? Which is, yeah, super helpful to people.
And all I think about is Connor from Trash Tastes telling me to never play League because I will hate myself.
Hey, dude, if you are new to the scene, let's get into League and get called a bunch of, like, racial epithets and then end our League career. Sounds like a great... I'll be like, I'm gonna buy the shield. They'll be like, dude, why'd you buy shield? You go buy boots on round 1. I'll be like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then they'll ban me from the game. I'll be banned for life from League because I didn't buy boots.
I'll just sit in a corner and cry after like a single round.
Like, I'm gonna say buy boots on round 1, and all the League players are gonna comment and be like, dude, you don't freaking buy boots on round 1. You buy the freaking potion on round 1. Duh, you never played League before? Anyways, no, I have not. Anyways, huge collab. For the people who want it, it's there, and that's exciting. Let's move on to the next one. A sequel. Highly anticipated sequel. Maybe I wouldn't say highly anticipated. It's a sequel. A Plague Tale Requiem.
So, I had never heard of the first one, but watching through
you were blown away by this trailer. Yeah, you were like, this looks great.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I heard the first one was like amazing, kind of a sleeper hit.
Yeah.
Where it just looks like some kind of like basic trash. Who cares? But I heard it. I heard the story was really good.
I watched that trailer and immediately was looking for the first game to like know what was happening in the series. That trailer enticed me so much that I just went and was like looking for whatever information I could find about it. Fortunately, Game Pass had the most information on the sequel, so I wasn't able to find too much. For me, looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like supposed to be like a horror game-esque. I don't think it's
Well, it's
exactly a
kind of
horror
like
game.
an apocalyptic fantasy
Yeah.
setting.
It's
Yeah.
definitely meant to make you feel the jitters here and there.
Yeah, there's spooky rats everywhere.
But the things that I got away from it, looking at the gameplay they showed us, was like, man, that looks a lot like Evil Within, where you're like trudging through areas that are like, I don't want to be here. And a little bit of like Horizon Zero Dawn, where you have that freedom to try to choose ways to traverse the area.
And in some ways, it reminded me, not entirely, but it reminded me kind of Dishonored in that it is this very much stealth focused.
Yeah.
You're sneaking around, and also the message of the game. I believe the message of the first game. I think it's very kind of political in its own way, talking about like the caste system between all these poor people who have to suffer in the slums and all these rich people who you get some Mask of the Red Death stuff going on, all these rich people like, I'll never get sick from the plague and die or whatever, right? But yeah, I think some of that is kind of built in elements of that caste system. So
I mean, it looked phenomenal as well. There weren't too many games that we watched through that entire show that I was blown away by, but this is definitely one of them.
Well, speaking of games you're going to be blown away by, talk about the next one.
Oh my god! That was Forza Motorsport, which is technically Forza Motorsport 8, but they don't want to bring it up.
Drop the 8, just Motorsport, baby.
They want to make people like me angry. Just drop the numbers because they don't want to
should.
deal
What
with
if they
it anymore.
what if they did like Fast and Furious instead of dropping the for number 4, the Fast and Furious? They just call it Motorsport.
Oh my god,
Didn't even
that would
say
drive me
Forza.
insane.
Motorsport.
They switched it around so it was Motorsport Forza.
Motorsport, Forza.
Looks amazing. If you've never played a Forza Motorsport game, which is different from
Horizon.
the Horizon games, Motorsport is all about...
there's no Aloy in it.
Yeah.
Aloy's not in the Motorsport games.
Oh my god, yeah. Motorsport is all about the technicality of racing. It's a simulation
It's like
racing game.
track racing.
Yep, track racing. It's about, your tire wear, how much fuel you're using, your weight, what
it's not
classic car you're using.
It's not fun like Horizon is. In other
I don't know
words.
what you're talking
No,
about.
I'm kidding.
love
I'm kidding.
motorsport. So the big thing for me is I am very much, I think I said this when we originally talked about Burnout 3, was I'm a simulation racer guy. That's my bread and butter for racing games. I remember spending hours and hours with my friends online in Motorsport 6 doing like 50 lap hour runs just to like see who could have the endurance to sit there for like literally an hour using tires and fuel to the best of their knowledge and seeing who could be the better racer. I loved that. I spent so much time doing that.
And this one, they talked about it. It's like intense. There's what they talked about, how there's like real like time.
Yeah, real time ray tracing on the cars so you can see the reflections.
Yeah, so they talked about ray tracing for a long time because that's the new hotness. Obviously, we all love talking about ray tracing, but they also talked about time progresses as you race, so it can go from like day to afternoon, afternoon to night, and that changes the conditions. So like in the daytime, the track's going to be a little grippier because it's hotter, right? Your wheels are going to grip the road a little bit more. And they talked about when it's nighttime, the track's going to be a little bit cooler, so you're not going to stick to the road as well. There's weather, there's rain and stuff.
Yeah, they're bringing back all the elements again.
Yeah, so it's like there's...
Nighttime driving is going to be super hard.
It's not just simulation driving, it's like ultimate simulation driving. Like, we've simulated every aspect.
So, thing about, like, Motorsport was that in 6, they introduced nighttime driving, if I remember correctly. It might have been 5, but I'm pretty sure it was 6. And all the nighttime tracks just were not, like, that dark. There was one track, which I think was the Virginia track, which was almost pitch black. You had your headlights and that was it. So if you didn't know the course, you were like going straight off the track. And the way they showed 8 to us, or Forza Motorsport, I'm going to call it 8. The way they showed 8 to us was that, no, every track is that dark. If you're not on a like well-lit track, you're driving in pitch black. And so, like, I know for a lot of people, It's not their type of game to like have that seriousness, but man, I love that stuff.
Everybody with a racer cockpit, rejoice! Motorsports back, baby.
I literally have a full like racing setup. I have a wheel, pedal, shifter, everything. I love it so much.
You think they're gonna get Jeremy Clarkson back to talk about the cars again?
Oh my god!
Tonight on Forza Motorsport.
Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, James May. I would take any three of them.
Well, Clarkson's done a bunch of voiceover for the series.
I would imagine they would get him back.
I really wanted to get... I remember I watched it on like G4 TV. Whichever motorsport you could drive the Warthog in, I really wanted that one. Because Clarkson talks about the Warthog, I think, or something. Or maybe it's Cortana.
I think that was 6. Because in 6 we got Fallout 4's cars that are nuclear powered. You know, for something fun.
Tonight on Top Gear, I drive a Warthog. Hammond drives a Ghost, and James May drives a Mongoose.
I miss Top Gear so much.
I used to watch Top Gear all the time. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we gotta move on. Otherwise, I'll keep talking about how much I love racing sims.
Let's move from racing sims to flight sims. 40th anniversary for flight sim. They're adding helicopters and gliders and Halo.
Absolutely crazy. You can go to space.
Yeah, well, okay. All right. I don't think you can go to space. I think it's like the upper atmosphere.
Oh,
but yes.
like whatever. It's space.
You could see like the freaking atmosphere. Yeah, pretty much it's space. I don't care. It's another thing. I'm going to say that a lot for this. I don't care. But if you love Flight Sim, great news. Big update for Flight Sim.
Yeah, this is the first time I think we're seeing Flight Sim come to the Xbox as well.
No, I think it was on the Xbox.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
Man,
It's just like a big update. Pretty sure.
Like, I remember playing Flight Sim on my classroom PC because we had that.
Well, now it's time to stop talking about Flight Sim and start talking about how, geez, love, the cavalry's here. Overwatch 2, about 3 years too late.
There's new outfits. We saw a new character. I believe her name was the Wastelander.
Oh, yeah, she hangs out with the Junkyard and the Roadman.
Yeah.
No, it's Roadhog. I know his name's Roadhog. I don't remember
Junkrat.
Thank you. I didn't remember his name.
So, like, when I was playing Overwatch, my main was Junkrat. I loved him. But, like, in this trailer, I think we saw, like, a bare glimpse of him.
Really into the part where he turns into a tire.
Yeah.
No, see, Overwatch... when Overwatch was coming out, I watched all the cinematics, all the story stuff. I freaking ate that stuff up, man. Like, TF2, live for the story, man, okay? I did not want to play Overwatch, but, man, I cared about that story so bad. I remember, when I watched the freaking trailer where Tracer showed up, and she's like, geez, love, the cavalry's here. I was freaking starstruck. I was like, this game looks amazing. I love all the fun characters. How awesome. And now, I just don't care anymore.
It's been overdrawn. I have a friend that's super into it. He does ranked. I think he's like diamond level or something.
There's still freaking pro tournaments where people are playing for millions of dollars in Overwatch.
Yeah,
that's great for them, man. So good for them. If you're if you're an Overwatch Pro League player and you're listening to our podcast, thank you for your service.
Thank you for choosing a healer like Mercy.
Dude, Zenyatta, best healer. I never played Overwatch, but I was like, dude, if I play Overwatch, I'm gonna play Zenyatta because I like the healer who deals damage. I enjoy that, and he throws the orbs.
Yep, Zenyatta.
I do like that. But so, anyways, thank you for playing Overwatch. I'm not going to play Overwatch 2. And also, I said 3 years too late. We've been waiting for Overwatch 2 like forever, right?
Yeah.
They were like, hey, instead of just continuing to support Overwatch 1, we're going to make Overwatch 2. And everybody's like, that's cool. And they're like, we're going to leave and talk to you in 3 years about Overwatch 2. I feel like there's not been much progress. But they're doing it early access, which is exciting. Hey, maybe you can win the golden ticket to go to Charlie and the Overwatch Factory.
Chockley and
the Charlie Factory. And Mr. Doomfist is there.
Oh my gosh.
And Tracer's there. And Widowmaker's there. And Zenyatta's not there.
And
Winston's there.
Winston. Oh, I love Winston.
And he's a big monkey.
I remember when Overwatch came out, I saw the big bundle that they had with Soldier 76 as like the figurine, I think
Oh, do
was
you
who it
own the
was.
you own the
I
big
own it.
special
Yeah, I
edition,
do.
right? Yeah.
And like I bought it a couple years after Overwatch came out because it was finally starting to come down in price.
Yep.
But like, man, they just give you so much to look at in that thing, and that's why I love the designs and like the choices they made for each
The
character.
whole story and game looks good. That's what, like I said, that's what I was so enamored with. They'd be like new story cinematic, and I'd be like, yeah, dude, I want to see these sweet characters fight bad guys. I love that, right?
I don't know. We're gonna see if people want to pick up Overwatch.
I think
again.
people will play it no matter what. Whether it's as popular as Overwatch 1 is yet to be seen. I think there will probably still be a pro league for Overwatch 2. I mean, I think people still do TF2 tournaments, so there's going to be a market for it no matter what, I think. But yeah, let's move on, or we'll keep talking about Overwatch 2, huh?
All right. Well, how about that next one?
Aura, History Untold. I didn't write anything down for this one, so I don't know. It's about to be History Untold, in my opinion.
Yeah. It looked like Civilization.
Oh, it was
That's
it
the only
was
thing I
like
really
a
took away from it.
strategy game.
I'm gonna be real here.
We
I
all
just
thought it was gonna be Civilization. It wasn't.
I kind of just don't care about it. It's whatever, honestly.
Dude, what if it had been? What was the game? I'm not gonna remember the name. It was another city game, and it had the year in the title. It'd be like EXO 2093 or something like that. It was a year. I don't know. Anyways,
the only thing I remember is Order 1886.
no, it definitely wasn't that, because that was not a strategy game. That was
It's
like
the
an
only one I remember.
action-packed game. All right, we're gonna move on to
Elder Scrolls High Isle.
online. No, Elder Scrolls. Don't
yeah,
confuse people. You got to say online.
Elder Scrolls Online High Isle exists. I don't care about the online stuff.
They're gonna take you to a place never before seen.
They're
going
gonna
to
take me to a place that probably serves clam chowder. That's how vanilla I look at this.
Welcome to High Isle. Mud crab chowder. I don't know. It's High Isle. It's Elder Scrolls Online. It's one of those things like, one day, I've always resolved, one day I'm going to buy a World of Warcraft subscription, and for like 1 month, I'm just going to play the hell out of World of Warcraft. And I think that's how I feel about Elder Scrolls Online. I've been tempted. I've been like, maybe I should get this and play through it. I just think I don't care. We kept making jokes throughout the game. I'd be like, we're going to take you to somewhere never before seen in a Hollow Knight game. Like,
yeah, it just, like, it exists. I don't know what else to say. If you play Elder Scrolls Online, I'm sure you're super excited that they're putting out more content again.
More content. I mean, it's like Final Fantasy 14 at this point, right? They're like, here's the 15th DLC for Final Fantasy 14, and every Final Fantasy 14 player who's like level 953 is like, yeah, new content, and I'm like, dude, what are you guys?
The only
where do you
cool
find the
thing-
time to play this, man?
The only cool thing I've seen come out of High Isle is the fact that on TikTok I watch this guy who does like D&D stuff, but he like runs a tavern as his TikTok. And like he sat down, he's like, "Hi there, traveler. I'm gonna give you something that we just got from High Isle." And he like does like a crab
And
chowder.
he goes, "Hi, traveler. I'm about to take you to a place never before explored in an Elder Scrolls game."
That's the only cool thing I've honestly seen out of it. The trailer wasn't that interesting. It sounded like blah, 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 blah.
Speaking of not interesting, Fallout 76 Expeditions: The Pit.
Oh, yeah, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yes. If you love... What, was that Fallout 3 DLC? I'm pretty sure. Well, yeah, that would make sense because you were on that side of the coast. Yeah, The Pit was a Fallout 3 DLC.
Yeah, because you were in the Commonwealth, so you were just off to the side of Pittsburgh.
A bit north. Head to Pittsburgh. The Pit. But yeah, they're bringing The Pit back for Fallout 76.
You want my opinion here? Like Elder Scrolls Online High Isle, it also exists.
Great news. For all the Fallout 76 players, more content for you, and that's great. And we love that for
Fallout
you.
76 has had definitely like a revitalization since they fixed the entire
it's
game.
been revitalized for a long time. They did the No Man's Sky thing where they were like, hey, here's this game. Here's all the promises we're going to make. And everybody's like, hey, I'm playing your game? And that's not at all what you advertise. And they're like, okay, but we're working on it. And so it's like better now for sure because they added people. It was the whole thing. It was all Quest audio logs and stuff. And then they added NPCs. And now the game is good finally. But okay, moving on. Horizon 5. Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, they're putting a Hot Wheels expansion pack on this one too. It's not the first time we've seen it. Won't be the last time.
Here's my confusion. Hot Wheels Unleashed already exists and it's the best racing game that mankind has ever and will ever produce. So why are we putting Hot Wheels in the worst racing game?
So Horizon is you can do crazy jumps and
Yeah,
do
it's more
500
about
miles
race.
off
It's
the
like a big
road.
open. It's like the Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, they've been to Australia, Mexico. I think the first one was
England,
like in Colorado
I
and
think
England.
4 was
Yep.
England. Yeah,
So they've been all over the world and stuff.
it's definitely a more casual racing game.
Forza
than
Horizon
Motorsport.
3 had the first Hot Wheels expansion.
They've done. Well, I think 4 had Lego. 4 had the
Yeah,
Lego
4 had
one.
Lego.
Yep.
So, I mean,
They
we're
always
just
do
going
one
back to
silly
it.
one.
The thing is that the Hot Wheels fits so well in the Horizon Forza games
Yep.
because it's all about, like, you're basically a kid playing with just Hot Wheel cars.
Yep.
The sad part is that the tracks are all locked. They make one single track that you can drive around on. You can't make your own or anything. I played on 3 for the original, and it was okay. It was kind of one of those things, though, that after a while, I kind of just got bored of playing it.
Horizon seems fun for a little bit. I like racing games, but
It's a good short burst game.
Well, I've talked about this before. I love Burnout 3 and Burnout Revenge because they're like level based. So go to this level. It's not Detroit. They call it Motor City. Go to Motor City and compete in this race. Go to Motor City, compete in this crash event, whatever, right? That's why I hate Burnout Paradise, is they're like, okay, remove the levels. What if it was one big open world and you just had to race for a billion years? I like the loading screens break up just racing over and over, and it helps give my brain a break. Like, it's weird to say I'm in favor of loading screens, but for something so repetitive where you're just doing the races and races and races, I need something to break it up.
Yeah.
So that's my issue with some of these Forza games and stuff like that, is just like, what if you raced for the next 8 hours of gameplay? And I just, like, it's fun. I just can't do that, man.
I was gushing over Motorsport because Motorsport's basically that. You have to do each loading screen and you're trying to, like, place first and all this stuff. But for Horizon, for me, is just a playground where I get to goof off. So, like, Motorsport's where you do your track stuff and you try to be, like, super grippy and, like, hit to first. For me, Horizon is where I goof off and try to go drifting and do all sorts of dumb stuff with my car. And it's a turn off my brain event. I don't do races unless I absolutely have to. And I just goof off. I don't actually, like, play the game the way they probably intended someone to.
We want to talk about a racing game that I do really enjoy, similar to this, Trackmania. I always love because I like...
Oh, Trackmania is great.
I love Trackmania because I'm, like, competing with myself to get the best time.
Yeah.
Right? So that's something I do enjoy, where I'm trying to get my time better and better and better. But yeah. Anyways, moving on.
You should play Motorsport then.
There you go. Arc 2.
Woo! CGI Vin Diesel.
It's a game about family. I would say that's what I've got to say about Arc 2. If you haven't seen the trailers...
You owe me a 10-second raptor.
He lives life in the dinosaur lane.
I live life a quarter step at a time on top of T-Rex.
A quarter future dinosaur at a time. Arc 2, here's what I have to say about Arc 2. And we keep saying this for, like, every game. I don't play Arc. I don't care about Arc. If you like Arc,
it exists.
Good for you. I might play this because Vin Diesel's in it, and that's funny. Just go, if you don't care, like us, go watch the trailers for Arc 2, and they will be probably the funniest video game trailers you've ever seen in your life, because you have a very poorly animated... It doesn't even look like Vin Diesel, kind of. He's
Offhandedly, it does.
He's, like, wrong. It's like if you squinted at Vin Diesel and then tried to draw him. Like, I don't know. It's weird. He looks weird.
No, it's like if you looked at Vin Diesel, then squinted at a picture of Riddick, and then squinted harder at this, you would find him.
Yeah, it's like you looked at a picture of Dominic Toretto, but you got him mixed up with Riddick, and you kind of just mashed all the Vin Diesel characters together. I don't know. Go watch the trailers. They're really funny.
There you go. Next one, Scorn.
Oh my god, this looks beautiful. So very clearly, H.R. Geiger, whatever. H.R. Geiger.
Geiger.
It's inspired by H.R. No, H.R. Geiger, who his designs inspired Alien and a billion other things. Very famous designer.
It looks like a Doom 3 horror game.
It looks sweet.
And everyone hated Doom 3.
The setting looks freaking astounding, though. Man, this game looks good. Here's the thing. We live in a modern generation where even if games suck, They look amazing, man.
Yeah.
Even if Scorn is awful, holy crap, does it look so good.
So like, I had mixed feelings about this one. Like, it looked good in some aspects, and then other ways I'm just like, I think I might get bored.
Spooky, weird horror stuff, I'm all about it, man. If it's spooky and weird. I mean, there's stuff I want to play. Soma, Prey, I think Control, maybe not Control. Soma and Prey are like spooky space games, spooky space stuff. We like that. Control, I don't know what Control's about. I thought it was spooky space stuff. Maybe it's not. I'm excited to play that too. Weird future horror apocalypse.
Isn't Control like a sequel of Alan Wake?
Is that true? I
isn't
have
that
no
what-
clue.
I
You
think
know
I've
as
had
much
someone
as I
say
do.
that to me before. I have no idea
You
what
know as much
Control's
as
about.
I think I have it free through PlayStation, maybe. I want to play it eventually. Anyways, we don't know what Control is. Very clear. When we play Control, that'll be the name of the episode.
We'll come back and be like...
Welcome back to the Quick Save Podcast. We don't know what Control is. We played it, and we don't know what it is. Is it a sequel to Alan Wake? Who knows? Okay, Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. I wrote, seems rad. That's all I wrote.
It looked super cool. It's a lot of close quarters combat.
It's fun.
Melee focus with guns as the side weapons is like kind of the whole vibe that it's trying to get off. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it's a game that wants to be a gunslinger, but you get like a baseball bat instead. And you're just like,
We'll see. Here's the thing we've all been waiting for, Minecraft Legends. I wrote in the parentheses here, I wrote, the Goblin Commander sequel we've been waiting for, question mark? Because it very much looks like you're making units and sending them to go fight. And so it's like the overworld is teaming up. All the units in the overworld, the zombie villagers, to fight the evil bad guys or whatever, right? But it's
so
like
it's
a
an action strategy game.
Yep,
is
action
what it
strategy.
is. It looks bad though. It just looks bad. I don't know why they keep trying to take Minecraft out of its box.
Yeah, they were like,
what if do something with it?
Minecraft, what's the one that's been out for a little bit? Minecraft
Story mode.
No, not that. So yeah, Minecraft Story Mode is like, what if Minecraft was a Telltale game? But then they had the one recently, Minecraft Dungeons. Which they were like, what if Minecraft was Diablo? And now they're like, what if Minecraft was Goblin Commander? Yeah, I don't know. Microsoft owns Minecraft, and they were like, what if I just made whatever game I wanted, but I called it Minecraft? That's maybe fine.
The children will buy.
Yeah, here's the thing. We can goof as much as we want on Minecraft Legends. Absolutely, it'll sell units because it says Minecraft on the front. Doesn't matter. Lightyear Frontier, we're both kind of excited for this. This looks like a Stardew Valley Slime Rancher-esque co-op farming sim adventure game.
And the other thing is it possibly might be more than that. The whole trailer just gave off the vibe of like, here's what we want to show you until you get the game and find out more.
Explore more in this hidden realm, you know?
I feel like it's one of those trailers that's just trying to like gather people in because they're interested, and then like we're gonna buy it and there's gonna be like some dark like Easter egg in there, which isn't a bad thing. I was really vibing with the trailer the entire time, so I'm like, man, I played the crap out of Harvest Moon, and I do enjoy those games. I just don't get to play them much. Stardew Valley's on my list to be played, even though I know I'll waste time on it. It's just one of those games I think it's worth playing no matter what. Like, Skyrim to me is a game I go to waste time on because are you ever really done with Skyrim? I don't think so.
Never. I'll never be finished with Skyrim. Okay, talk about the next one. I'm looking up the trailer because I don't remember a lot about it, but I'm very excited by the prospect of this game.
Gunfire Reborn. What a weird trailer. So it's a roguelike action game, which is where they're trying to place it.
So right up my alley, not even a joke.
But I think, like, if I remember correctly, you're playing as, like, fruit and, like, vegetables.
No, you were playing as, like, an animal or something.
Was it animals?
Well, I'm about to watch the trailer in a moment. I'll double check. After this DoorDash ad. This episode is not sponsored by DoorDash.
God, I hope not.
Okay, I'm looking. First-person shooter. Yeah, you're like animal guys. Yeah,
right,
so there's
animals.
Like a panda guy. So I saw somebody say it's like Risk of Rain 2 meets Borderlands. I like Risk of Rain.
I did not.
I like Borderlands.
I did.
So
I still do.
It's like a shooter. You be shooting. You be looting. You're shooting magic. I'll be honest. I think
it just looks weird, man.
The trailer made this look really exciting, and I'm watching gameplay, and I kind of don't care anymore. I like roguelites. That is very exciting to me. Shooting at an enemy in first person for 900 years, kind of good. Also, I read that this was a mobile game. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, coming out later, which is fun. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. I like roguelites. Never enough roguelites in my life.
Probably going to be a pass on mine, but let's move on to the next one. The Last Case of Benedict Fox.
Oh, baby. I'm pulling up the trailer for this one, too.
All right. It's an action platformer, so you're fighting off stuff, but you're platforming. The inner demons is a key idea in this game. So, like, Benedict Fox has these he meets like a demon. They go inside him,
there's like a Cthulhu guy who's helping him out. Yeah, absolutely.
He strikes a deal, and so like I think we're gonna play this game, and at the end we're gonna have to like fight off our inner demons.
Hey, tell him the best part, man. Tell him the best part. It's a Metroidvania. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. There's gonna be a freaking big open world, and you're gonna be collecting power-ups to traverse the world and fight enemies. What's better than that? Nothing, I think, in my opinion.
Bloodstained Curse of the Moon?
No comments. I like the Metroid side more than the Castlevania side. Alright, let me get into this trailer. Give me a sec. Rated teen for blood and violence. Uh-oh.
Whoops.
Better call your parents and ask if you can get in on this one. So it's like 3D. I mean, I could list any number of things this reminds me of. Ori and the Blind Forest, Shadow Complex, obviously Metroid. But yeah, you're exploring like a spooky mansion, and I think that's the thing, was like you're dead, right? So you have to find out who killed you or something. He finds like a dead guy.
I think his dad's dead.
Oh, I think that is maybe correct. But yeah,
he's trying to figure out who killed his dad.
There's like spooky monsters and stuff, but you have like a dark, shadowy monster friend who helps you, and you're gonna unlock these arcane powers. I'm excited, man. I freaking love Metroidvanias. It is by far my favorite genre of game. So, looking forward to The Last Case of Benedict Fox.
So, this next one, I was very interested in. I want to know how it works. I want to see actual gameplay of it roll out. And that is As Dusk Falls. So, As Dusk Falls is a visual novel type game. It's an interactive story. So, you get to like choose things and it'll affect your outcome. A lot like, what's that
Telltale?
one? Not Telltale, it's the other one.
Until Dawn?
Until Dawn. A lot like Until Dawn.
The Dark Pictures Anthology is their new whole thing.
But
or The Quarry.
You can play with up to 8 players. Yeah, The Quarry just came out not too long ago. But you can play with up to 8 players, and I think that's super nifty because like it's basically a visual novel, but you get to play with friends.
I got great news for you. It's called the Dark Pictures Anthology.
Oh!
It's called Movie Night, and you can have like 5 people or whatever, and you connect your phones, and each person gets one character to play as. So I'm not trying to like crap on As Dusk Falls and be like, it's already been done by Dark Pictures Anthology. I'm just saying such a thing exists, but I'm still excited for it because I've always wanted to do like a movie night Dark Pictures Anthology. I own all the games, but I wanted to like a movie night where we all control characters.
It just looks super good. The story was well written. Basically, you're a family that rolls into town. Your car breaks down. There's these teens, and they're getting in trouble. Then you have like the law enforcement side, and you have like all this going on at once.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. Yes, the more you talk about it, half of these I'm like, I don't remember this, and then you talk about it, I'm like, okay, now I remember it.
Yeah, no, it was very interesting to me, and I really am interested to see gameplay of it, if not play it.
All right, let's talk about the next one. It's taken Asia by storm. Naraka Blade Point. It's a battle royale.
Yeah, you can have up to 60 players at once.
It never came out in America until now, but apparently it's really popular in Japan.
It has cool designs.
Yeah, it's popular in Asia. That's what the trailer led us to believe. So.
I love how many of these were just like, yeah, like it looked chill.
Well,
yeah.
so much of it's like, here's like a minute and a half of a game that's not going to be out for 8 months, right? Like they're trying to make a good impression, but there's only so much you can do, especially if like we don't care about battle royales. It's just kind of like, you're not going to play Naraka Blade Point. I'm not going to play Naraka Blade Point.
My neighbor down the street is going to play Naraka Blade Point.
I'm going to have people come to work. I'm going to have people come to work to be like, dude, I was playing Naraka Blade Point yesterday. No, probably not, in my opinion. I don't think I'm going to hear anybody talk about Naraka. Hey, if you email us about Naraka Blade Point, if you like it or not when it comes out in 8 months.
We need that Goblin Commander info first. That is priority.
No way. I want to hear about Naraka Blade Point. All right, let's talk about
Pentiment. It's a narrative adventure.
Okay, this freaking looks sweet. All right, it's like Renaissance art
Yeah,
the
it looks like an
game.
old-timey book or something.
You're in like an old-timey freaking like 1600s French painting man.
The most interesting thing about this one, in my opinion, made by Obsidian.
Here's the thing. Remember when I said games that are just funny and good written dialogue suck? I would do anything for Obsidian.
We stand for Obsidian.
I stand Obsidian, yes. New Vegas was amazing. Outer Worlds is amazing. I want Pentiment to also be amazing.
Look, when you're telling a story and the whole point of your game is the story, you need good writing. Because otherwise it's
news.
Just something that happens.
Best in the biz, Obsidian, baby. We got the pros on this one.
So, narrative adventure, your actions and choices, will affect the outcome and how people react to you. You're like this piece of paper. Like, it's literally just like you're in a piece of paper mosaic. And you're just kind of like walking through all this. And everything is affected by your choices. It's going to be interesting. I'm not keen on the visuals.
It's kind of smaller scale than like the stuff Obsidian has done, obviously.
I'm just not sold on the visuals. The trailer didn't sell it to me.
Disagree. I think it looks amazing, and I think it's fun visual style. I like the medieval
it's definitely
art style.
Fresh and new, 100%.
Yeah, there's been some indie stuff that's done similar stuff in the past, but I really like the commitment to style. Looks amazing. I'm very excited to play through this one. If I had to pick one that was like my must play out of the event, I'd pick Pentiment, because I think that's going to be, no matter what, I think that's going to be a fun experience.
Looking at Grounded next. That's right, you're grounded.
That game has been out forever, though, Alex. Why are we talking about a game that's been out for freaking 3.5 years?
They're updating it or something.
No, it was in early access for the past. It was in early access for the past year, and all the streamers played it, and it was big news. And now it's finally coming out officially, and it's got all the things, and there's extra stuff. And
look, it's a sci-fi Honey I Shrunk the Kids thing. You battle bugs.
I think it's like a fun concept. It's got like a whole co-op thing going on. Here's the thing. We don't play games with people. I think that's our issue.
Yeah, we don't play a lot of single-player stuff.
We don't play co-op stuff at all. We should more, but we just don't. So something like Grounded, I don't care. I'm not going to play Grounded.
So the thing is that, for me, a game is always a story being told to me that I get to live through. And that's how it works in my head a lot. Some people view games as something you do with others.
It's like a bonding experience.
Yeah, bonding experience. And I think there's games out there that fit into both, and that's why I've played them most likely. But for a lot of things, if it's not like telling me a story, if it's not driving me to an objective, I just don't really care. It's
there are co-op games that do both.
The thing
A Way Out and It Takes Two are both like obviously co-op amazing storytelling games.
I think the big thing for me is that a lot of games now that are like co-op, you have to have internet connection for.
Yep. Yeah, couch co-op. It's a thing of the past.
It's really dead. So the problem becomes that, okay, I buy Grounded. I play it for 6 months. And then maybe it's at the tail end of its life and the servers go down. This is a chunk of plastic now.
Yeah.
There's no substance anymore.
Yep.
I think it's so important that if you're going to sell a game, you need to have
some kind
an
of
offline support.
Yeah, single player content of some kind.
Single player or even just couch co-op. I mean, like, I sound a little preachy about it, but like, I feel like that's such a fundamental part of games that is now being driven out by these like massive get 4 people from all over the world to play and fight, like one other person or something.
We just had people come into the store recently and they wanted to buy GTA 5 on the 360 because they were like, yeah, our daughter wants to play online. And I'm like, yeah, online support for GTA 5 on the 360 and PS3 ended like back in March.
Yeah. The thing is, though, is that if you have a 360 copy of GTA 5, you can still play the story mode.
Exactly, and that's the thing. They were like, oh, so she can't play it? I'm like, well, you can play the single player, but you can't play the online. So that, yeah, it is frustrating. Or like Destiny, OG Destiny, a completely online game. Like, who's out there playing Destiny 1? Tumbleweed rolls by, like...
It's just such a... I don't know, maybe it's because I like playing older games. Maybe it's because I have a collection and I want people to be able to interact with things that I really love, like the Evil Dead games. There were 3 that came out. I own them, and a 4th one just came out, but it's online only. and I don't see a reason to buy it. Even though, like,
I'll give you one reason. You can play as a Kandarian demon. It's cool.
It's a piece of
cool.
plastic. That's my biggest issue.
It looks cool, but yeah, here's the thing. You have all these people playing Dead by Daylight. You have all these people playing Friday the 13th. How many people are left to play Evil Dead? You know, like, it becomes a thing. There's a lot of diminishing returns where if we make a bunch of asymmetric multiplayer games that are based on horror movies, you're going to run out of people who want to play that, right? Because everybody who's playing Dead for Daylight is going to play Evil Dead and be like, well, I'd rather just play Dead for Daylight, right? You know, like, I don't know. It's tough. There's the market is oversaturated in a lot of ways.
And there's a big divide about this. There are people that think, like, you know, maybe I'm thinking too boomerish about it, you know, in the video game world, and I just need to suck it up and accept that it's a thing. But it's like, man, we couldn't have, like, tried anything else. You couldn't have spent...
like a single player or a co-op mode that you could play offline that was like a story or something,
like,
right?
You know, just make it a co-op thing. There's no reason you're telling me that you can't have 3 people versus 1 guy or something like that.
I want 3 ashes on screen at the same time, and they all go groovy.
This is my boomstick.
Exactly.
All right, moving on from my soapbox. Let's talk about Ereben's Shadow Legacy. It has puzzles and combat. I summed it up right there.
I'm good. I saw this and I said, I'm good. This one's not for me. If I had to pick one game that was my don't play for Josh, it'd be this one, I think.
I don't know. I was going to say Skyrim. Elder Scrolls Online High was kind of my top of the charts don't play.
But I mentioned my whole World of Warcraft thing. I kind of want to play it. Let's move on from Shadow Legacy.
Diablo 4.
It's Diablo. That's what I wrote.
It's a Diablo game,
Great news. You like Diablo? This is one of them. I played a ton of 3 back in the day. And I played some 2 remastered. We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Which is fun. I do like that too.
Look, you get your final class. It's Necromancer. I'm sure there's people out there that have been dying to play this or something.
I wonder what class they're going to pick. Pick Necromancer. Whoa. Nobody could have guessed that it was going to be Necromancer.
I totally didn't see this, like, objectively simple thing coming out.
The most popular class in all of Diablo? There's no way this could be the final class.
I mean, it's something.
What, Diablo 3 came out like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that, right? It was on the PS3 and stuff. PS3 and 360.
Yep, I have a copy even. I just
fun.
never played it.
No,
I think I've said that like 3 times now.
Have you ever played a Diablo game?
No.
They're fun, man.
Wait, no, yes. I played one on PC because my dad had it.
It's fun. Definitely kind of a better with friends experience, but it is a lot of fun to just mindlessly click and mash and blow away hordes of enemies with your cool build and stuff like that. It's fun.
All right, moving on. Sea of Thieves.
Season 7. Hello?
There's 7 seasons?
Hello?
I thought
Who's out there, man? Who's out there still playing freaking Sea of Thieves? Actually, that is, you know, I'm obfuscating the truth a little bit. Some of my coworkers, he had some friends come over and be like, "Yeah, we're all playing Sea of Thieves again." So I don't know, maybe season 7 got the hype back. Everybody's playing Sea of Thieves again.
What happened to seasons 2 through 6?
I think I mentioned this. We just don't play multiplayer stuff, man. Everybody's been out here playing Sea of Thieves, and we're just like, man, I wish good games would come out.
You get to save your ship loadouts. You get to customize your captain's quarters. I guess that's the big thing. You couldn't do that before. And you can name your ships. These are updates. I love that. These are the updates.
Hey, man, you can name your ship. Dude, it's been 7 seasons and we couldn't name the ship? What are we just... Somebody at the studio was like, what if you could name the ship now? What do you mean, man? That should have been
Mine's blowing.
Season 2 should have been Name the Ship, man.
But trailer, though. Let's talk about that trailer.
They had a song. They had a fun song.
Yeah, the entire trailer was a song, and it was so good.
Yar, fiddly-dee. Being a pirate's the life for me. You are a pirate. They didn't do that, but I wish. They should do... You ever heard of the show Our Flag Means Death?
No.
It's a very funny, beautiful Taika Waititi directed comedy about pirates who are in love, and I love the pirates. It's about Stede Bonnet, the gentleman pirate, who is based on a real guy. But it's beautiful and hilarious and fun. And they should do... Sea of Thieves should get in on this. Our Flag Means Death, really popular show on HBO Max right now. Get in on this. I want to play as Stede Bonnet.
We'll check back in. 2 episodes and we'll be on season 20.
Taika Waititi directed it and stars in it. What more could you ask for? I want to play as Taika Waititi in Sea of Thieves. Let's talk about Ravenlock. I wrote Alice in 2D, 3D Wonderland.
It's a pixelated action adventure. It just looks cool, man. That's
looks
where
cool.
I'm at.
It does look cool.
It looks so cool. It's definitely like one of those I think I'm definitely going to play.
Alice Pixelated Madness returns.
Yeah, no kidding. That's exactly where my mind was going when we were watching it.
It's fun. There hasn't been an Alice in Wonderland property for a while. That, Alice Madness Returns came out, and that was pretty big. Played Killer is Dead, the Suda 51 game.
No, I haven't.
It's Alice in Wonderland thing.
Yeah.
Cocoon.
Okay, I got this for you. Cocoon is a game where you make marble worlds. And then you make worlds with the marble worlds.
Yeah, you go in.
And then you make worlds with those marble worlds.
Okay, you're in World 1. Make a marble. Marble is World 2. You're in World 2. Make a marble. Marble is World 3. Make a marble. Marble's World 4. Return to World 2 to solve puzzles. Then move back into World 3 to solve puzzles. To solve puzzles in World 1 to go back to... It's like you're in and out of universes. The whole bit, it's called Cocoon. It's because you're in a universe within a universe within. You're like in this swaddled. In this
I don't think I've ever
worlds.
been more confused by a trailer than watching that.
Well, let me tell you why. It's made by the creator of Inside and Limbo, so it's very stylistic, cool, much like both of those games are. Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Do you remember anything about this trailer? Be honest. Be honest.
All right. It's made by Koei and Team Ninja.
Yay.
It looked a lot like Dynasty Warriors.
Yay.
I
didn't take very good notes on the Bethesda, the whole thing here. I didn't really take great notes.
They did a lot of cinematics and not a lot of gameplay because, in my opinion, if it looks like Dynasty Warriors, it's probably kind of boring.
What, you don't love standing in hordes of enemies and just mashing attack for like 5 hours? Dude, Dynasty Warriors and Diablo should just team up and make
the only Warriors. Dynasty Warriors I really ever played were the Gundam ones. And that's because I understood the story beforehand and understood the objectives.
And then you got to stand in a horde of enemies and mash the attack button for 4 hours until the mission was over. You just talk about the next one. This is one you wanted to talk about. This is your must-play of the conference.
Well, this is the one I'm most excited about, and not because it's new, not because it's something that we've been anticipating. It's not because it's something that has been, put on console for the first time.
We didn't know about it, yeah.
Persona.
Exactly.
So we're going to get P3P, which is Persona 3 Portable, which was the PlayStation Portable version.
Is that the best version of 3 in your opinion?
It is the best version of 3 in my opinion.
Perfect.
I played through all of them. That's the one I like the most.
Perfect.
Because, if you don't know Persona...
I was going to say, what did 3 originally come out on?
3 originally came out on PS2.
Okay.
So you have Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3. Mm-hmm. Then we have Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 FES.
Yeah. Yes.
Then we had Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 Portable. And all Portable did was take everything from FES in the original, smash it together, and then add an extra bit of storyline.
Perfect.
So, the way that Persona works is that they will release your initial game first. We'll look at Persona 5 here. We release Persona 5, and then, a couple years later, we released Persona 5 Royal, which added content.
Before that, there's a ton of DLC.
There's DLC and everything.
Persona 5... bunch of DLC, story mode, whatever, items, outfits, okay? And then you could get Persona 5 Complete Bundle Edition digitally or whatever. That's like the game and all the DLC. Then Persona 5 Royal comes out. Persona 5 Royal has its own DLC that's all, and it's like...
has everything from the first release.
Yep. So here becomes your issue. You cannot... If you own 5... you cannot play the Royal stuff. It's not like an extra deluxe edition. Royal is like its own thing because they added a new character and a new story and all this extra content, right? So if you want to play the Royal stuff, you got to play Royal, but you got to play through the whole game again. I don't like that.
All right. So I am a Shin Megami nut. I love the games. For me though, it's so easy to play through like the original and then go into the next one and replay that.
But these are like 80-hour stories.
Oh god,
man.
You're so forgiving. It took me 125 hours to complete Persona 5.
Then you had to do it again for Royal, man. And there's more in Royal to do than the original, man.
So, of the Persona games...
Respect your time, man.
Of the Persona games, I have completed 3 and 3 Portable. and I have completed 5, and I'm working on 5 Royal. But
4. This is 4 Erasure. 4 Erasure. You hate 4. Hate 4. Can't stand it.
Persona 4 is actually widely garnered as, or was at the time garnered as the top Persona game. This is the one people wanted to play the most. Then 5 came out and kind of...
They did all the spin-offs, right? Because there was Arena and Arena Ultimax and Persona 4 Golden and...
Dancing in the Moonlight
Yep.
was that. It was the first Persona that got notoriety here in the West, really.
Yeah, very popular in
So
America.
now it's 5. 5
came out
has
on the
a bunch.
PS2. That's how old. Like 3 came out on the PS2. You're like, sure. 4 came out on the PS2. 5 came out on the PS4. Like there, an entire generation of consoles will skip before the next Persona game came out.
Persona games take a long time to make because you're spending an awful lot of time in game.
If you spend 125 hours to beat the story, imagine how long they work to make the freaking game, dude.
I have to also preface this. It took me 125 hours to beat the story on the first playthrough. You have to do multiple playthroughs in order to 100% this game. So you would have to go back, replay it, because you get to carry all your like items and abilities back with you in the New Game Plus.
The New Game Plus, yeah.
And then you leave off on all your relationships because there's relationship building in the game as well.
Yeah, there's like time management. You have to go places and study for your tests. And...
Persona is a event you live through, not a game you play.
I love playing Persona because I have to open about 15 guides on my phone to make sure I'm not going to ruin. I'm going to play through this once. I need to get as much out of this as possible. I don't want to be like, I'm going to go to sleep instead of study. And they're going to be like, dude, on day 3, you didn't study. So now you get the bad ending in 120 hours. When you beat the game, you lose the game now.
Oh my God. I remember playing through 5 and like about near the end of the game, I was like, I can't do it. I'm so tired.
Oh, you romance the wrong character, so now in this cutscene, you explode violently instead of having them come save you.
So, for your Game Pass, you get the best of all of them. You get Persona 3 Portable, which has all your content. You get Persona 4 Golden, which is the final release of Persona 4, with all of its content. And then you get Persona 5 Royal. So you literally get... every story piece you could ever want from those 3. Now, we don't get...
You probably need the DLC for Royal, but yeah, you
maybe,
pretty much get everything.
Who knows what they're going to include on this. But we don't get Revelations, which was the first one, Persona Revelations, and we don't get Persona 2, which had a release on the original PlayStation, and then a release on the PSP, which was the updated version. So we don't get that one, and we don't get Revelation. And a lot of people don't like those.
Probably harder to port over... like a PS1 release to Xbox, I would think, though. It's not like those have had recent releases. Like, Persona 4 Golden was on the PS3, right?
It just got released on PC, and I'm sure that's the reason they were able to port it so easily.
Yep.
If you want to really challenge yourself with the game, with time management, relationship building, what steps you take, combat, because combat's huge in those games. Every little step you take in this game will definitively decide how easy or hard it makes it for yourself. If you want a challenge, play these games. Amazing stories, amazing time playing them. You will not regret it.
The voice acting is good in 5.
In 5, it's good. I believe the other ones are all text-based for the most part.
I mean, 5...
4, I think, had some voice acting in it.
I mean, look, it's worth it to hear them say, Persona! And you're like, yeah, dude, freaking get it, man. He ate that line up when he screamed Persona.
All right. I'm just getting off my soapbox again.
Persona! Okay, we're going to talk about everybody's favorite game developer, Hideo Kojima, in partnership with Xbox. That's what we got. We don't know what he's working on. What's he building in there? But he's working with... Isn't that crazy? He just made freaking Death Stranding Director's Cut, one of the probably most highly anticipated games on the PS4 and the PS5, which a lot of people were severely let down by.
Yep.
And he's like, you know what? Loyal friendship with PlayStation ended. Xbox is my new best friend.
Xbox goes up and goes,
Mom said it was my turn to make a game with Kojima.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited. Have you heard about all the crazy stuff he's theorized over the years?
I could only imagine.
We're
talking about Hideo Kojima.
He wanted to make a game disc that broke when you died. Like, you would play imagine playing like a PS2 game, and you die in the game, and the game would like self-destruct. It would like break in your system when you died. Could you imagine having to go buy a second go to your mom and say, Mom, I need another copy of the game. I died and mine broke.
I was a scrub.
I died and mine broke. But it's just like the amount of stuff he's theorized and played with is so crazy. Obviously, the Metal Gear Solid games, there's a ton of crazy stuff in there too.
So
Psycho Mantis reading your memory card.
yeah, oh my god,
infinite things like that. Like
MGS had some crazy stuff in it.
I don't think it was Revolver Ocelot. There's like the sniper guy who's really old, and if you just waited like 3 hours, he would just like die.
I think that's Sons of Liberty, maybe.
I think it might be in 2. But yeah, like he was just this old sniper, and he was just camping out, and the whole mission was like get close and then murder him. But if you just like set the controller down and wait for 3 hours, he would just die of natural causes because he's an old man. So I mean, he's no stranger to playing around with weird stuff like that.
So you say, you know, if you were to die, the game would break, and that's what you wanted to do. Back in the day, I don't know how many people remember this, but there were movies you could rent that you wouldn't have to return on DVDs, and after about 3 days of it touching the air, the DVD would be unreadable. And I could totally see him trying to bring that back.
I've never heard of that. That's so bizarre.
Yeah, so like it was a way that you could like pay, you know, whatever. I think, you know, it was probably like $10 to rent it out or something. You know, who knows what it was back in the day. But the moment you broke the seal, the disc would start to oxygenate and it would start to decay the disc at a rapid rate.
How bizarre. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does. There were rumors about a Silent Hill game for a long time. Obviously, that's what PT was. PT, playable trailer for a Silent Hills game that was scrapped. Sadness. So, man, I want that Silent Hill game to exist so freaking bad.
Good news, you can pay $600 on eBay and get it.
No, I don't want PT, man. I want a full version of what PT was going to be.
You're a big fan of Silent Hill. I know that much.
Well, here's the thing, man. In my dreams, I see that place, Silent Hill. So how could you not be? You know, red triangle object, or before he was called Triangle Head, he was named like Red Triangle Thing or something. It was very funny. The creator of Silent Hill is very sad with how like the whole Pyramid Head was 2, I think, right?
Yep.
Maybe it was 1. I'm pretty sure it was 2. But he was a representation of James's. I'm going to get into a hole. This is my soapbox. Welcome to the Silent Hill 2 episode. Pyramid Head was a representation of his guilt or whatever, right? Okay, that was the whole bit. Pyramid Head was not created to be like the arbiter of Silent Hill who's going to haunt everyone who goes to Silent Hill. He was a manifestation of this one character's grief. But because this is how companies work, they were like, oh, big monster, we like him, put him in every game so game sells well. Like, if you do some digging, the creator of Pyramid Head is very unhappy with, they've just turned Pyramid Head into, like, the cash cow of the franchise, where they're like, new Silent Hill game, Pyramid Head's in it, and it's like, that wasn't the point. He was supposed to be the demon for the one guy. Man. Anyways, I love Silent Hill. I own 1, 2, 3... I wish I owned 4.
You don't own 4, really?
I don't own 4 on PS, because I own 1 on PS1, 2 on PS2. They were all really expensive.
I own most of mine on the original Xbox.
Yeah, and I could get 4 on the Xbox. We have a copy at work, but I really wanted the PS2. And then they made Shattered Memories on the PS2, and it's like $400.
Oh,
Yikes.
it's so interesting, though. I
even
think
on
the Wii version is cheaper.
Oh, yeah, but even on the Wii, it's like approaching like $90 to $100 or something. Yep. It's still crazy expensive. I love Silent Hill because it's very atmospheric and iconic. Back to Kojima. I'm excited to see what he does. Like I said, there was a Silent Hill thing they kept teasing. He would always say, like, he'd make a tweet. And he'd be like, I must stay silent on the matter. And you'd be like, oh, brother, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. So I'm excited to see what he does. It'll probably be weird and wacky.
I'm excited for anything he puts out,
Hey,
honestly.
man, now that I have an Xbox One, hopefully it comes out on both. It'll probably just be a series release, though, and I'll be sad. But let's move on to...
Let's talk about the big one.
Let's talk about the big one. This is the game I don't think is going to come out in 12 months. They said,
I have a hard time believing
They said,
that.
hey, everything's going to come out in 12 months. I don't think this is coming out in 12 months. It's Starfield. Bethany Esda's new big original property. That's right, folks. It's not Fallout. It's not Skyrim. It's the Outer Worlds. Just kidding. Don't tell Todd that I said it's the Outer Worlds.
Look, it's going to be a Fallout 4 like game. It looked like, you get have the same type of gameplay as Fallout 4.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say this. I don't want to argue about Starfield. I think it looks fun, and I think I'm going to have fun playing it. I've seen a lot of people say it looks like Skyrim in space. Okay, you're going to complain that it looks like Skyrim in space? Who spent 900 hours playing Skyrim? Everybody on the planet, man. Oh, it looks like Skyrim. Great news. Skyrim was probably like the best-selling game Bethesda's ever put out. It's like Skyrim in space with guns. What you've described sounds freaking amazing. You can make a spaceship. There's a whole spaceship editor. You can make a spaceship. There's 1,000 planets. They said there's 1,000 planets. You can walk around the whole planet. I love the Outer Worlds. There's like levels. There's like big open levels that you can kind of explore.
Yep.
You can't just walk around the planet. This is like, yeah, go to the planet, you can walk around it. And everybody's like, well, the planet's all going to be the same, and there's not going to be a billion
people
things.
are like, oh, the planets are going to be empty. It's like, well, yeah, there's not life on every planet.
I don't care if they're empty, man. I'm going to explore all those freaking planets in my space version of Skyrim. That sounds amazing. I don't care if they're empty. I don't care if they got weird creatures. If they say, there's a treasure chest on that planet, I'm going to the planet to find a freaking treasure chest, man. Bethany Esda has never let me down. That's a lie. But I'm still excited to play Starfield.
It's a bold lie.
I'm still excited to play Starfield. Name a bad game they've released. I'll wait. This is the part where you list all the games.
I was going to say, do you really want me to start?
I'm going to start with Breeders' Cup 2001, which is a horse racing game they made for the PlayStation 2. I think really Bethany has to let us down on that one. No, I don't know.
Here's the thing that I am kind of sad about. This is an Xbox exclusive title.
That sucks.
It
I don't
really
like
does.
that.
I get the whole point that this is the Xbox Game Pass. This is what it's meant to be for Xbox. But man, talk about like a lost opportunity there.
I mean, I don't know. That was kind of the thing, right? The moment Microsoft said, yeah, we bought Bethesda, even though they're like, we're still going to keep a lot of our main series titles on both systems, definitely you could tell, like, something was brewing of Microsoft exclusive Bethesda game.
Like I say that's like a lost opportunity. I'm kind of a PlayStation bro. I really have grown to re-love the console again. I look at things like Horizon Zero Dawn, and I think the same thing, though. I love Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a beautiful game. I love, like, The Last of Us. What a phenomenal game. Am I kind of sad that they're only on PlayStation? Yeah. Because think of all the people that won't get to play this game now.
It's okay. All the PC fans out there.
I know. PC bros are out there being like,
they can double dip. Let me talk about what I wrote down. I tried to write down a decent amount of stuff. It just said, I've got a date here. It says 2023. That's what I got.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Pretty much. It's kind of where I'm at. I mean, it's a big game. They've been working on it for a while. Why do we care about Starfield? Well, let me start. It's the only thing stopping the next Elder Scrolls game. After Starfield, I mean, they're already working on Elder Scrolls 6, but Elder Scrolls 6 is the next big Bethesda game after Starfield.
And then after Elder Scrolls 6 is Fallout 5.
Is that real?
Yep, they started work on Fallout 5.
Okay, that's exciting. I hope they don't screw it up like they did 4. Anyways, I wrote game use gun. Maybe we knew that, maybe we didn't. There are guns in Starfield. Yay. You can survey plants and stuff. I love that.
Yeah, brings me back to like Mass Effect 2, surveying the planets.
Or Bioshock, where you had to take pictures of the enemies to learn more about them. People call this No Man's Skyrim. Right, because in No Man's Sky, you're researching the plants, you're researching the life, stuff like that. I think that's a fun part of the game because they mentioned you join, it's called the Constellation, which is the last group of space explorers. Can I mention this? I love the Outer Worlds. I love playing the Outer Worlds, man. But no, I have an original Xbox One, which probably won't be able to play Starfield. If it does, it'll like combust into flames. But I'm not kidding. I'm seriously thinking about getting a Series S to play this.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, it feels like they're trying to take every space game that we can think of and combine the best parts of each one.
No Man's Sky, Outer Worlds, Fallout and Skyrim. Put them all in the blender. Put them in Todd Howard's big old game blender and extrude out a fun game. For
So
everyone.
the problem with things like Starfield is that they put out this incredible amount of like hope that the game's going to be amazing, and if the game underperforms in any way, it will lose all
faith in Bethesda.
confidence.
Faith in Bethesda shaken to my core. I'll never play another Elder Scrolls game. You screwed up Starfield.
Elder
so
Scrolls
bad.
6 drops. I'm gonna buy that game.
Exactly. They go, I'm never going to play another Bethesda game. And they say, we're going to take you to a place never before explored in the Elder Scrolls universe. And you go, I'll pay whatever it takes to go to High Isle, baby. I'm on the way.
So overall, I'm excited for this. I want to see it. I want to play it.
It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. It's much like Minecraft. It doesn't matter if the game sucks. People are going to buy it. It says Bethesda on the front. Bethesda, it's like Mario Odyssey came out, and they said Mario Odyssey's more like Sunshine in 64. It's not like the level-based ones, and everybody said, oh, that's going to be amazing. I would put this, it's going to be like Skyrim. It's going to be like Fallout. It's not going to be like Breeders' Cup 2001, the horse racing game that they made on the PlayStation 2. No, I'm looking forward to this.
Same.
I will do whatever it takes to get this game into my hands. Todd Howard, I swear on all that's holy, I will play your Starfield.
And I'll sneak into your apartment and play
And
it when you go to bed.
play Starfield. That's what we talked about. We talked about both of us getting Series S. I was like, if you get a Series X before I get a Series S, you have to get Starfield, and I'll just, instead of coming over to work on the podcast, I'll just be like, hey, I think we should play some more Starfield today. But no, I'm excited for the game. What more could a human being ask for?
And then that was the end of the Game Pass
Let me guess.
showcase.
Let me guess. Someone stole your spaceship. I'm doing like Skyrim lines, but it's about space. I used to be in the constellation like you, and then I took an asteroid to the knee. Think that'd be pretty good?
That would be amazing if they put that in there. All right, let's talk about quickie news.
I'd love to.
All right, we're going to go through these fast because it's been a long episode already. Dragon Age, we love that franchise, is getting an animated series coming to Netflix this December.
I hope I can romance all the characters on the Netflix show.
I hope there's Morgana. Ghostbusters VR is coming to PSVR 2.
I wanted that game. I saw the new movie. I said, holy crap, a Ghostbusters VR game is exactly what I want. And now it's here. So,
Last of Us 2 gets a remake on the PS5, and it comes out September 2nd.
sorry, Last of Us, you mean Last of Us 1?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Last of Us 1.
Yeah, Last of Us 1 is getting a remake, and it looks like holy
They completely overhauled the visuals.
it looks holy crap astounding. Yeah.
High Rise Level is confirmed coming back to Modern Warfare 2.
Yay, High Rise.
Yay, Modern Warfare. Confirmed Final Fantasy VII Part 2
I saw this.
next winter.
I forget what it's called, but it's called The first one's remake, the next one's like something. They all start with Get it? Retrograde. Exactly. But they're also doing a Crisis Core remake that comes out this winter.
Yeah.
So you get Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core this winter, and then you get Part 2 of the remake next year. So we're getting the whole Final Fantasy VII story. We're getting it all.
All right. I think on the last news episode, we also talked about this. God of War Ragnarok has been planned. I want to say confirmed. It has been replanned for November this year.
I've heard rumors both ways, and I'm
so back and forth.
I'm keeping an ear to the ground. I care a lot about this. I've heard rumors both ways that it's not going to be this year, and then it will be this year. But nothing is hard confirmed yet. But man, I'm hoping for this year.
All right. Metro 2033. Its author of the books
Yeah.
has been added to the wanted Russian list
That's
in the Ukraine war.
hey man, good for him.
That when you piss off the Russian government, you're a good man in my eyes.
There you go. What a legend.
E3 will be returning next year, 2023.
Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. Don't jinx it.
Physical and digital. So we'll get both. Cyberpunk Edge Runners is a 10-episode anime made by Studio Trigger, which is coming out to Netflix in September this year.
So is that is it related to the game Cyberpunk? Or
Yeah,
did
it
you-
is.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just like Studio Trigger's making a new anime, which is also valid. So
No, it's related to Cyberpunk. Also related to Cyberpunk is they are making a board game that'll be coming out soon. So
Sure.
lots of Cyberpunk stuff.
I guess.
Not gonna let that die.
Do. Wake up, samurai. We've got a board game to burn.
All right, and let's talk about our final piece of news for the night. The Xbox Live TV app.
Xbox Live.
So, This is planned to be launched June 30th, which right now is a couple days out. You're going to be able to stream games without a console straight to your smart TV. Now, this is only for Samsung TVs and monitors right now, but there is plans to widen the support for it to other smart TVs. So, with the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, if you're a subscriber of that, you'll have access to over 100 games straight off the bat. And Fortnite will be able to be streamed to the TV even without an Xbox Live subscription.
Yippee!
It's gonna work a lot like Netflix does on TVs already, where you just like log in and then it'll start up the program. We're gonna have a wide support of gaming controllers.
I was just about to ask, what kind of controllers can I use?
They're saying PS4, Xbox One,
probably Series X,
probably Series X controllers,
maybe PS5,
probably PS5. Like, there's a wide support for it already. There's third-party support.
Wii Remote, Nunchuck,
bro. When they bring back the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, I had played with that.
The SNES Advantage, the Super Scope.
Bro, Super Scope.
The
Power Glove.
The Power Glove, the Justifier.
There's a limitation here.
Uh-oh.
We're going to be limited, a hard limit cap of 180p and 60 frames per second.
Sorry, 180p or 1080?
Oh, 1080p.
180 is...
It's been that long of an episode,
looking
man.
a little crispy around the edges. You can see the pixels.
Anyways, this is planned for rollout with Samsung, its main partnership, but other partnerships after that, like I had stated before. And they're probably looking at maybe like a 6 month to year partnership with them, if not longer.
Here's the thing.
Depends on how it goes.
We talked about this. We were talking about, like, I asked Alex, do you think your TV has the specs to run Starfield? You know, like, yes, you're just streaming it, but I don't know, man. On some of these big, I mean, Google Stadia was just streaming games, and we all know how that turned out.
It's going to be interesting.
Cut to a picture of a graveyard with Google Stadia logo on it. Like, I don't know, man. People didn't really like PlayStation Now when it was just streaming games. People didn't like Google Stadia when it was just streaming games. Seems kind of like a hard sell in a lot of ways.
Here's a hot take. I think streaming games is not the answer.
Yeah, pretty much kind of where I'm at.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens. It comes out in the next couple days. I'm going to download the app. We're going to log in and see what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what it will be like. We'll earn
right.
that sweet gamer score, baby. Thousand gamer score. Here I come.
But I think we're going to wrap up the show from here. We have all of our links down below.
We'll put a link to the whole showcase where you can watch all the trailers and stuff.
Link to the Xbox Live app for your TV if you own a Samsung. Maybe you want to download it when it comes out.
Play all that sweet Kojima and Starfield action when it arrives.
Watch your TV like burn out and die.
The smoke pouring out of the speakers. But my name's Bethany Esda.
And I'm Microsoft.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
I'm waving as if it matters. This is like a visual gag I'm doing.